Miuccia Prada, the creative director of Prada, has always been at the forefront of fashion. I'm actually currently doing research on Prada as a whole, from the branding to the marketing to the artistic side of the fashion designs. So look forward to more Prada videos in the future. But while I was doing my research, a collection that really caught my eye, and I just wanted to make a separate video kind of briefly talking about the collection, is the Spring Summer 2012 collection. So in today's video, that's what I'll be talking about. But before I continue, you can follow me on Instagram at Fashion Roadman, as well as Twitter. So the Spring Summer 2012 collection was titled Women and Car Engines, and this name ties into a lot of the references and a lot of the influence and inspiration of this collection. For this collection, the set was actually made to look like a car park or garage, with paint stains on the floor resembling the aftermath of an old paint job. There were also some foam cars that were a part of the set. On Prada's website, they actually describe the set in a very referential way, giving us kind of these little nuggets in terms of the references to this collection. So to quote what was said on the website directly, what it says, and like I said, it's very referential in the way they wrote it, is the audience is aligned along the two sides of a road in the city. Models walk on a 15-meter wide asphalt surface with patches of pink and red resin. A system of abstract subway grid is distributed in the room and along the catwalk. The grids are lit from below, highlighting the details of the collection and suggesting a second hidden level. Abstract foam automobiles in different combinations of color red, blue, gray, and pink are parked on the road, completing the urban landscape that inspires the collection. And to me, the way they describe the set of the collection very much describes a lot of the references in the collection already. But overall, this collection was heavily inspired by the 1950s, just from every single element of the collection. If we look at the models and their hairstyles, they had these side parts, which are very reminiscent of hairstyles you would typically see on women in the 1950s. And it very much reminded me of just some retro aesthetic, kind of like what you would think of a vintage diner to look like or to have a hair like. And of course, as the title suggests, the automobile references were rife in this collection. And the vast amount of referencing when it comes to cars and engines can be seen from everything from the garments to the prints on the garments to all the accessories. We saw shoes with tail fins, which was a reference to the large tail fins you'd see on a 1950s Cadillac. And we also saw other heels featuring this flame design. And there were various cartoonish car prints on garments, with a lot of them having flames either on the Cadillac or just following the Cadillac, and this was kind of the print that was on the garments. Many coveted Prada bags also came from this collection, with the famous clutches and bags with car detailing stitched and embossed onto the surfaces. Now, during my research from Prada, one thing I have learned is that Miuccia Prada has this very unique way of mixing colors that aren't supposed to work with each other or aren't conventionally used side by side with each other, and she makes it look good. And that's why people find Miuccia Prada's eye insane, because she does things that no one else does and she makes it look nice. It's the same way Miuccia Prada is known for balancing really different prints and making it cohesive. And you can kind of see that Miuccia Prada is having that same effect in this collection. At the start of Prada, aesthetically, it was extremely minimal, and it was more about the silhouette, the shape, the lines, the cut. But now, some aspects of Prada are very minimal, but also there's an interesting way in which he mixes prints and patterns and colors in a very, very maximalist way. However, because the title of this collection is Women and Car Engines, I think people solely focus on the car references and things like that when it comes to this collection, and they miss out a lot of the other elements in this collection. There were these amazing pleated pencil skirts and also pleated vests. We also saw these very, very cheeky cat eye sunglasses that of course is also a reference to the 1950s. Those are really popular in the 1950s. I just thought that was interesting that every single touch in this collection and the looks and the way the model's hair styled and the accessories all ties into this 1950s theme. And as usual, a lot of the accessories stole the show. We saw a lot of earrings, necklaces and bracelets with this kind of floral design, and we saw this floral design on jackets as prints on a lot of the jackets. We saw some on this really amazing skirt that was pink and yellow, I believe. That was amazing. I really liked that piece. So when I'm reviewing a show, like when I saw this collection at first hand, I like to just take in the references, see if I can break down the references myself, see what I can get and pick out from the collection. And then after, I like to read what different critics are saying, like Tim Blanks, the really respected ones, to know what their thoughts are on the collection. And after reading like 10 to 15 different reviews on this Prada Spring Summer 2012 collection, what all the critics were saying, that the references are too obvious and that it leaves out the mystique around Prada, and journalists like to challenge themselves and think deeply about the references, and they like collections where everyone's speculating about the references and some people get it wrong until the designer comes out and says, oh, actually for this collection, what I was thinking was this, or what I was thinking was that. And a lot of designers, especially because they're not accustomed to Miuccia Prada having such obvious references, her references are normally really subtle and you really have to think before you can grasp them. So like I said earlier, they kind of think that she left a bit of the mystique on the table. And I certainly agree with that opinion to some extent. But what do you guys think? Comment down below what you think about this collection, if you like it, if you don't. Stay tuned for more videos on Prada. And on that note, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new. And I will greatly appreciate it if you support my channel on Patreon. The link to that is in the description below, so please subscribe. And on that note, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back soon.